Hey, how you doing today? My name's Duke, and I'm going to attempt to change out these handlebars on this 2014 Harley-Davidson Ultra Classic. These are the Dominator 10-inch meat hooks, and let's go ahead and get started. Set these off to the side, and first thing we got to do is take the screws out of the front of the fairing which hold the windshield on. These three. We come around to the back side. There's one up here and one down here on each side. Alright. So all we gotta do is just pull this forward, grab a hold of the windshield, set the windshield off to the side, pull the fairing back, and it's going to lean forward. Lift up, lean forward. You can reach in here and there's a connector on the headlight. Just pull the little clip back and pull it out. Now you can just lift the fairing straight up. Set it up over here off to the side. Okay, what I failed to mention here is these screws that are on the back and on the front of the windshield are T27's Torx bits. So if you use that, next thing we're going to do is go ahead and take our turn signal / auxiliary lights off the front. And that is a 1/2 inch. Just squeeze that connection right there and pull it on out. Take that and set it off to the side. Then you'll do that to the other side. Okay, so now we got to remove the gas tank. We need to remove this bolt right here on both sides in the front. This is a 5/8. Stop. Okay, so now we're going to remove the gas tank, and we're going to begin by taking the bolts out of the front, which is the 5/8. Take that right there. Set them off over here with the rest of them. Okay. And we got a two more bolts here and here. These are T40s. Okay, so we need to take these zip ties off. We're going to cut this one right here. Be careful not to get into the wire. Get that out of the way. This one out of the way as well. Now just simply push down and pull out. Push down and pull out. Very simple. This is the vent hose for the tank. Pull it up out of there. There's another hose over here on this side. Just simply twist.
Not easy, huh?
No, not easy.
Is it coming now?
Feels like it's starting to turn. Sometimes you might have to put a little pick in there. Loosen it up. There we go. Alright, so now we're going to disconnect the fuel line. This is a quick release, so it's just real painless. Just put your rag up here because you're going to spill a couple drops. All you got to do is push up this quick release, push down on the fuel line. That's quick and easy. So that's it. Alright, let's move it on. Alright, so I got me some gloves on here. This is probably a good idea to help yourself while you're doing this job too. So, alright, so now we're going to pick the tank up, pull it back slightly. And just lift up. So now that this is out of the way while you're doing this job, this is a good time to get in here and clean this area right here. You see how nasty this is because it never gets attention. It's always hidden by the tank and whatnot, so take advantage of it. Alright, with the key fob in hand, turn the ignition switch to on. Now come over here with the saddlebag off. Take your side cover off. And take out the 50 amp fuse. Simple as that. Alright, we're going to take 5/32 Allen wrench, remove this screw here from this side. There's another one on this side over here. So take those both off. Pull out from the bottom and then just slide it out. Alright, from there, there's a connector on either side. Just squeeze, pull off. Same thing on this side. Squeeze and pull off. Alright, and from there, we take a 9/16. We're going to take these bolts right here off on both sides. Alright, this bottom one takes this cover, front cover. We're going to go ahead and take that off over there. Slide it straight out. Take it out of the way. And the other one, take that. Take that straight out. From that, Let's disconnect the USB port. See if that's helpful. Yeah, that one came right off. So this should do the same thing. Yeah, just push the thing in, and then there's a little keeper right here. Push that down and then pull it out. Simple as that. Okay, there's a keeper over here on this side. You push it in. And then slide this over. The lever lock. Pull it on out. And there's a attachment to hold the wire and harness on right here. Pull that out. Disconnect it. This.
What is that?
That's what I'm trying to see. There it is. Just take these off here. Okay. We'll take that off. Simple and easy. Okay.
Okay, I lost you.
And then
There we go. Gotcha.
yeah. And this. Okay. So then these are the connectors for your handlebars right here. This is where we're going to be working at eventually. Take that off and that off. Okay, there's a GPS antenna. We don't have to disconnect that. This is for a CB antenna. We do need to take that off of there. We don't have one, so it needs to be off and out of the way. It is advisable to go ahead and put a rag down over the fender. Oh, it's ABS wire. So don't mess that up. So you're gonna want that.
Is that it?
Enough. So now that everybody is disconnected, we can pick it up and take it away. Okay. All right, so we need to remove this keeper. Get the wire and harness away from it. Raise it up. There are You can see right here, Phillips screw. It actually just slides. So we take the screws out because it goes into this and it spreads this out to hold it in place. So we have the same thing over here. Sometimes you gotta put something behind it to apply the pressure. Same thing. Pull that out. And just put the screw back in it so you can keep up with it. Put it off to the side. Right now, it's a good idea to do this on some blankets or foam rubber like we have here. So now, pull this down, you see there's tabs here, they go into these holes, or slots. Take it, flip it over. See there's a turn signal wire just came up there. So now we're going to take our snips, being very careful. Cut the zip ties. On this side and on this side. There's more up here too. There's also zip ties here, here, and here. So what we're doing here is we're basically extending the wires for our handlebars so we don't have to use the extensions. So this right here puts the plug at the front of the motorcycle, or excuse me, back towards the handlebars of the motorcycle instead of towards the front of the motorcycle. So basically you take this, slide it into here, and just pop the connector out. One. Two. And now we pull those back to this side of the handlebar, or this end of it, not the handlebars. And slide that back up in there. Don't forget to put your turn signal wire back up in there. There, take the little piece, take the screw out, slide it back in there, and take the screw and just push it on in. Thing here, put your piece in there, take the screw, push it on in. Then we can take these, slide them back into place. I have to tighten these down a little bit to stay. Up here where they don't end up back up underneath it. All right. And remove the controls on both sides. First thing we got to do is remove this odometer switch. It's just a Yep. It's supposed to lift up slightly and then slide out. But they're pretty inexpensive to replace. It happens. Now we need to remove the zip ties on the handlebars. Again, be certain not to cut any wires or lines. So I have a T27. We're going to take these two screws out of the clutch lever. Just put it back together, so it keeps everything together. So not to lose any bolts or the piece that you need to hold it onto the handlebars. While you're at it, go ahead and wrap it with something. You don't want to scratch any paint, anything like that. Just a simple little. Doesn't take long. You could protect it. Go to the other side, same thing. Once again, put it all back together. I think it makes it easier to keep up with parts. Just a strap. Zip tie. Wrap it up too. This is just an Allen wrench, a 1/4 wrench. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and continue taking these screws out here of the controls. And move that, slip it off. Alright, we'll leave this over here on this side. Keep everything oriented. If you notice, I've got these handlebars oriented just as if I'm sitting on the motorcycle, as well as the new ones are sitting over here exactly the same. That way, when I go to put things back on, they're always in the correct place. So, moving over here to the other side, well, we can go ahead and slip this off. Just simple and Easy as that. Alright, just as we did the other side, we're going to take this off. We're going to use T25. Yeah. So there's a clip. There's a clip right here. If you pull that back and just lift up, that comes apart. Same way as it is on the other side. So you just pull that out of the way. Now this control will come right off of the handlebar. The only thing we have left here now is the throttle grip. I found it easier to remove this piece from the center here where I can take a look and see what's going on. But in all actuality, all you need is a little pin to stick down in here. Push down in there and push the little lever back. Yeah. Again, I found it easier to take the center piece out. I don't know if you can see it or not. There's a little tabs. You have to move up. If you can get your pick in there, that's ideally how the whole unit is designed. Get your pick in there, lift the little lever up, then you can pull the terminal on through. I'm not that coordinated. Perhaps you are. But that's all it takes. A little bit of coercion and making sure that it's going through in the right direction. Yay. See, that was easy, wasn't it? So remember, you have the seal and then the other piece that goes on the back. They have to come off as well. In that order. as I said, just as simple as that. There you go. All you gotta do is just straighten your wire out and then pull it up. Pull the throttle out. Make sure you're feeding your wire from this end as well, so as not to rip any wiring. Definitely don't want to do that. So again, just take your pin, push it down in there, pull the connector out. Go over to the other one, push it down in there. And pull the connector out. Make sure that you take a picture so that you know which one goes on what, the black and the white. We're going to say that the door's open, the white is on the top. Just like so. There's our picture. Alright, and once again, pull that on out. Now we can pull the wiring out of the handlebars. Quick and easy. Alright, so to prepare these things to go through the handlebars, we gotta get these connectors off of here. And to do so, you have to remove, you gotta de-pin these. Now, I watched a video that Ryan Erlocker put out there from Law Abiding Biker, and it really helped me, so I'm just passing on the great information that he has out there for everyone. So, you know, they always say to go to the source if you want the correct information. So if you want to go to there, feel free. So he said to go ahead and break this hinge off. There we go. I just took some scissors and cut it. Slides on out of the way now. Now we can take this seal. Wonderful waterproofing seal. Now we can see right here. You see, you have the hole on top and you have your connector on the bottom. Make sure you take pictures of this, of how it goes. You got your red, you got your black, you got your white with the red, and then you got your black wire. So we're going to start off over here. So you start off at an angle from the top. You go down in there. You go in a little ways, and then you feel it. Then you raise it up. Yep. Oh, wow. See, it was so easy, I did it on my first try. So then, same thing. Go in from an angle, you follow the connector on down. You feel that once it reaches the end, you push down and then you pull the wire out. Very simple. We'll just keep doing that with the other connectors all the way till you reach the end. Alright. Now you can take your seal off of there. And then you take your cap off as well. Make sure you keep all those together because you will need them again. Alright, moving on. This one only has the one, but here again, dental pick works great. Looking simple. Pull out the waterproof seal along with the plug, and make sure again that you take note, take a picture, whatever you have to do, of where the wire should be and where the plug should be. Okay, we're taking this from the side that is hinged. Alright. Alright, here we go. Just like on the other one, push the pin down in there and it comes right on out. Remember, you have a light and a plug for that, and that's the right hand side. Make sure you keep all those together. So the plug and the seal and the back piece. Now, moving on to the left hand, we have the same deal. We're going to go ahead and cut this piece off of here. Zip tie. We will not be needing that. That's only going to get in the way. Once again, go through this here deal, pulling the back piece out. So basically pull it out enough where you can get something in there. Cut the hinge. That hinge is only going to be in the way. There we go. It's out now. So pull that piece back. Now what we're going to do is take this seal out, just like we did in the other one. Simple and sweet. And from the hinge side, again, it's the same. Black, pardon me, red is on the left, black, white with red, and then white with black. They're both in that same order, both sides, left and right. So, from there, put a little tension on the wire, take your safety pin from the top hole, at an angle, go down where you're touching the terminal, slide it down in there, and once it stops, you should just be able to bend it a little bit or pull that angle down and it will pull on out. Little tension, 45-degree angle, follow the terminal on in there. Once it stops, hopefully one of these demonstrations here somebody will be able to see something. There we go. And then the same thing, we're putting a little pressure on the last one, coming in at that angle, following it down till it gets there, bend it back, and then it just pulls right on out, just like that. All right, once again, let's keep this left hand side with the left hand side. Take the seal off. Over there with the connector, and take the backing plate off as well. Sometimes you just got to pull these wires out one at a time, coerce them. Try not to mess up the terminals either, because we are using these again. All right, good job. All right, so I fed some speaker wire through the handlebars, and I've started to pull the wire through from the control. Alright, so we're almost through, as you can see here. We got the black tape right here. So make sure you leave plenty of wire out here on the end, because you're going to need to pull this other wire through here as well. That's the one that's going to be the real pain, because of these connectors right here as well. Not sure if these are even supposed to be on this, but there they are. So, yeah, boy. Alright, so there it is. Now, to take the tape off. Now again, I just use speaker wire. I saw where someone had suggested using 12 gauge stranded wire. If you have something like that laying around, then go for that. They also mentioned lubing the inside of the handlebars up very good. That's probably a good idea. I'm definitely having a time pulling this wire through, so I may go out in the garage and get some lube and try that out as well. Okay, well, here goes nothing. I've got it lubricated very good with the silicone spray lube. We're going to pull as we feed. Hopefully my other one is not in the way. And it looks like it is, of course. Alright, like I said, the left grip controls, they pull through pretty easy, so I went ahead and pulled those through. They come on up. Put this, make sure the wire is down in the nest. Pull it up around. And pull your wire from the center as you're putting the grip up, or excuse me, the control up to the bars. Here's a good point to put our hand grip on. See right here, this is oriented right here with the cam so that it goes on a certain way. Alright, so we gotta have this loose right here to get the hand grip in there. So we're gonna loosen that up just a little bit right there. We're gonna turn that in. Alright, so now that we got this back on here, this throttle grip goes in this groove, goes in this groove right here as well. So we want to make sure it's all nested and good. This is clipped down in there as it should be. We're going to put this back over top of it. Take our T25 and just snug that on up, because again we're not going to tighten it because we're going to use it. We're going to tighten it up once we get them installed on the handlebars. On the motorcycle. That way we can move it around where we want it, where it feels comfortable. So next we go back to installing our connectors on here. Yeah, and I just about messed up here again. Again, I always say put your handlebars in the direction they would be facing you if you were sitting on a motorcycle. That way, if you've laid your connectors out the way you took them off, they'll be laying right there on the table where you took them off. So again, we're going to refer back to our pictures here and see just exactly how those wires came off. All right. Alright, so here's the picture I've got, which means that this is oriented in that direction, and we're going to have from the right red, black, white with red, and then white with black. A good image on that. Cool. So we basically have to install this in the reverse order. And this is going to be here, so this is like that. And we're gonna have red, black, white with red, and then white with black. Alright. Very good. So now we're going to put the seal on. Same order.
And O negative can only receive at the top. O negative can only receive O negative. So you can only receive, even though you're universal, you can only receive that. So with the, like I said, A positive, I can do O negative, O positive, A negative, and A positive. Huh. And like Marlon, it can only be negative, but it can't be blood, be the B blood, it can only be O negative or A negative. For the A blood. She said that she went and got, once, she told her doctor, the gynecologist. Yeah. That she has A negative blood, which I found out her blood type when she was about 2 years old. And that blood doctor told me, said, you need to make sure that you grow after the young future.
Helps if I take my hand out from the front of it, doesn't it?
And so then she mentioned it to, well, I actually mentioned it to her nutrition. And then when they checked her, when she went to the gynecologist and checked her blood, it was true. So we know what color it is. I don't know what color it is. Very nice to know. Oh, the thing is that they're saying that A positive blood are high risk.
Well, I went and put it in the wrong end. But that's okay. We know how to take it out, don't we?
Marla don't have it. Because she's not A positive, she's A negative. I had a book on all the different types of blood. And the type, it was one of those according to the blood type. And it would break it down saying that based on statistics and research, this type of blood will have these type of symptoms and characteristics that from what they have. And that's why I read it said about us with allergies and things like that. she's asleep. I wonder what Julie is. I have no idea. Now, I never had any allergies growing up. Yeah. But Julia did. Yeah. I'm trying to think. He had, well, I thought he had sinus. I thought he did, as a teenager. But as a small kid, I don't remember him, so I don't know, I might be the only eight. It might be Julian and Autumn are both these, I guess. Yeah. Could be. Julian should know because that's something that required him to go to the military.
Yeah. And that's what I said, Dad probably knew what he had, you know, 'cause he was in there.
Julian might know what time it is. I'm like,
Yeah.
yes.
But your mom doesn't know.
I think I've asked her before, she said she didn't know.
Wow. That's,
I said, Mom, did they have to take her blood type when you had hysterectomy and stuff? And she goes, tell me that.
Alright, so now we got that back together. Just confirm. Right on the red on right, black, white with red, and then white with black. Alright. So moving on to this one.
Yeah, every single one of them. I said, what's my baby's birthday? How do you know that? So how I knew, I had to take you to a separate doctor.
oh, okay.
No, the hospital, after I delivered the baby, they did the blood work, they would not give it to me. It was later on, the first time was Anya, I went to a blood doctor.
Okay, okay, but when you were at the hospital, you had some nurse.
I asked the nurse, yeah, I said, we are not allowed to do that.
Okay.
They didn't put it in the records either, because when I went to the pediatrician,
They wouldn't tell you to keep.
they didn't know what it was.
Wow.
Pediatrician didn't have a record of what it is.
Well, maybe they need to check. Well, now they check it.
They check, because they prick their blood, they're on their feet, remember they always prick.
Alright, so this one,
They're checking for something when they're doing that.
we'll see
I have no idea.
the picture. The wire is on the right connector, as we see. And
I don't remember, I don't read it. Well, yeah, I think one way was, you know, we came from Michigan down to Tennessee. And I sent them the records and they followed, you know, maybe that's when I found out. Because I knew they were, not babies, but.
Well, that health department,
Yeah, so maybe
For us,
they
they
might
might know.
know, I don't know that for sure, though. I know they sent down some weird shots, so.
I
And
don't
of course,
know.
there's the plug in the other one.
Thing for,
Doesn't matter which one it goes.
it's such a big secret about blood type unless they're figuring that there's some kind of black market for blood or something out there.
I don't know, that doesn't seem right.
Oh. I know what it is now, I just remember.
Return date.
Exactly. That is what it is. They said that they're not allowed to give that out because that is, yeah.
Well, here's what, because children is like that, we have to, and
I think that's what, so that must have been from him.
but he's not my silver one.
Well, you can.
He has the right to one, you know.
All he's got to do is send the doctor and just get it tested, you got to pay for it.
Yeah, but that's, does he have insurance for it?
Let's move this over here where y'all can see.
Well, I know the boys are good because they look just like,
Yeah.
I mean, the baby pictures and just, I knew that, yeah. Now, Jordan did say something.
And that twins weren't part of that, and that, you know, but I
Now, Jordan said something about this, now, we listened to this before.
Alright. Let me go back to this. And again, we have, looking at this, starting from the right, we have red, black, white with red, and then white with black. So let's go ahead and group them as such. Red, black, white with red, and then white with black. So
Yeah, this is the one that Evan's mom was telling me to watch.
Oh,
What, you heard her talking over eating that night?
I heard her say something about,
What it is a pastor, it's a, Catholic priest and a, prosecutor,
what's it on?
it's on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's a,
Yeah, I don't even wanna start something if you don't have much.
it's only one season.
Oh, okay.
It's
What,
only one season.
maybe 10 or something? You're just on your first one.
Yeah. Well, we got until the 6th of next month,
Okay.
but she was saying that it was a really good movie. She said that it's, cause you have I think it's the prosecutor, she works for the DA, district attorney or something. So, said you got one side that uses facts and science, scientific facts and stuff, she does. And, there's a white guy there who is, who studied this. So, you got two sides.
Okay. All right.
alright, so once again, red, black, white with red, and then white with black. Not sure if you can tell or not, but I'm putting the barrel up on these. Let's see if I can get a zoom. Not a very good zoom. Anyhow, so the barrel up, push it in, black, white with red, white with black. Push the seal up. Should hear a click when you go back in with it. Okay. All right. Two more connectors, and we'll be back together on this. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get this little connector here out of the way. This is the picture I took of it. As you can see, it's got the little door opened up, and that is in the up position in the picture. So the white is on the top. So we take these two and we just insert them like so. Pop them in place and then close the little door. That is ready to go. Ready to go. Okay, so back to this one. Back to this one. We have 4 pieces, and we look at the connector and the wiring. Straighten those wires out. So, looking at the connector, like so, we're going to have black, blue, and brown on top. So, black, blue, and brown. Alright, and first thing we got to do is take this connector, or this connector. We have to take this back cover, black, blue, and brown. We have to insert these pins in that order. Black, blue, black, blue, and brown. So now, if we flip it over, from the right, we have red, we have purple. Make sure that those terminals are clean too before we insert them. We don't want to have any bad connections. So purple, and then gray. Alright, while we have them right there, orient them all in the same position. And then take our seal and put it on there. Alright. So now, we'll push all that stuff back down on them wires so we can work. Alright, so with the release on top, okay, with a little dent up top, we're going to put the red in the right, top right. Alright, and then the purple. And then the gray. Okay. And we flip it over. And we have black in the right terminal hole. And then blue well, actually it kind of looks like we should have put this in first before we start putting these in. Yep, I think I'm right. So, okay. Once again, we're going to get back on this larger connector as the last one. First thing we do is we take this little piece right here and we set it down in there. Now you may have been able to remove the pins without taking this apart, but I had to take it apart. So this is what I've learned how to put it back together. There is a notch right here in the top where the back connector or keeper goes. Now that is designated as the red, purple, and gray. Alright, the notch goes there. If you turn this around, there's no notch. So where there is no notch or tab, if you will, it should be black, blue, and brown. So if we turn it back around where the tab is, we need to keep these up. And we're going to put our seal back on. No, you don't have to put them all back in at the same time as I did. That's just what I chose to do. Okay. I'm gonna slide all that back up out of the way. You're gonna need to be able to manipulate these wires to get them in. Alright. Again, the red goes on the right. And see, we got our little cap on there. Red on the right, purple in the middle, and then gray on the left. Okay. See, our tab lines up with the slot. Alright, we'll flip it over. The first thing we got is black on the right. Blue in the middle. And then brown on the left side. Now we can pop this cap down to hold it all in place and push the seal up in there. Push it on home. Take our pick and seat it. Now we can take this and push it on up here. You can see our tab lines up and it snaps into place as it should. Alright, so there we go. Now we're ready to go back on the motorcycle. Cool. Now we need to remove the zip ties on the handlebars. Again, be certain not to cut any wires or lines. So I have a T27. We're going to take these two screws out of the clutch lever. Just put it back together, so it keeps everything together. So as not to lose any bolts or the piece that you need to hold it onto the handlebars. While you're at it, go ahead and wrap it with something. You don't want to scratch any paint, anything like that. Just a simple little. Doesn't take long. You could protect it. Go to the other side, same thing. Once again, put it all back together. I think it makes it easier to keep up with parts. Just a strap. Zip tie. Wrap it up too. Okay, so now we're going to get the T25 and remove the controls on both sides. First thing we got to do is remove this odometer switch. It's just a Yep. It's supposed to lift up slightly and then slide out. But they're pretty inexpensive to replace. It happens. Very rare though. Okay, so once again, the T25. So from this point, we can just take the handlebars off. So here. This is just an Allen wrench. It's a 1/4 inch. Yeah, watch out for that. Pull away from the bike. So from this point, we need to take our clutch hose and move it up to the top position and move all these other cables and lines down one. From there, we got to come back in here. We got to take this cable tray and open it up, as I've already done, and cut this slot here. Now this slot is going to be for the brake hose. We're going to take it out of this and run it through that slot underneath the wire assembly and through here. Okay? All right. Ready? All right, so we need to cut this cable tie right here. Be careful not to get into the clutch cable, clutch hose. We want that. Just that right there, that frees up a lot of that hose. Helps us get up over here a little bit further since our handlebar is a little higher now. But we're going to end up rerouting this thing up over this way instead of up and over the way that they had it initially. Alright, so I cut the zip tie that was here. That gave us some slack right there. I've taken where it was, the clutch hose was on the bottom. We moved it all the way up and moved everybody else down one each. From there, of course, you had to disconnect this wire connector right here to get that out of the way. Gone here, and I've ran the brake hose through the wire loom and underneath the wire harness right there. Everything is tacked back down as it should be, and we're ready to move on to the next step after I make this connection here. Pop goes the weasel. Let's put that underneath this hose. Alright. Alright, so we put the handlebars back on. You got a 12 to 14 foot-pound torque on these here. What I do is I tighten the front ones down and then keep the back ones loose so that you can make any adjustments from the back after the fairing is on. The brake line and the clutch line, you're going to have to loosen these and straighten them out. You see this one here kind of points towards the front. When you put the fairing on, this is going to end up hitting the fairing. So you just do yourself a favor and go ahead, just crack it loose and turn it. You don't have to take it completely off or anything, but when you take it loose, just barely rake it loose. And then push it around where you want it. And then tighten it back up. Alright? That way, you don't lose any fluid, you don't get any air in the line. You'll be just fine. Okay. Alright, so as you're putting the fairing on, you need to start from the bottom. And you're going to have to put it over top of these keepers here and then slide it over. As you're doing that, you're going to need a second hand because the three wires that are coming out of the handlebars are going to have to connect to the fairing. Those are the ones that we extended, if you recall. So at that point, you put these, after you make those connections, you put these two bolts in either side, over there as well, and tighten them on down. That's a 9/16 socket. From here, well, we can take this one. All these weather wires out of the way. And that grabs a hold. And it's a lever lock, cam lock, whatever you want to call it. Let's see here. Goes over to the USB. Push it right up on there. GPS is still connected. There's our AM FM connector. See here, there's a push button. We can put that on top this time. That might make it easier. Well, actually we can't. It's got to be on the bottom. Snaps into place. This goes right up here. We're going to push this into place right here. Right there. There's a hole. It snaps in right there. This one goes in right there. And then this one goes in right here. Alright, get them down here. We got these connectors, those plug right in there together. Well, if you turn it the right orientation, they'll plug in together. This. Everything has its own place. So you shouldn't be able to connect the wrong ones together. This plugs in right here. As you can see. Let's put this right in right there. Mm-hmm. There's our ground. So I cut off an Allen wrench so it can fit up into this area right here. As you can see, we're in a tight fitting area right here, but you need to get your handlebars exactly where you want them. And then get in here with the Allen wrench and tighten it up. Again, this has only got to be about 12 foot-pounds, so it's not real tight, but it is good and tight. It's German. All right, make sure you do both sides. Same thing, evenly tightened. All right, we're gonna put the rear bezel on. First thing we gotta do is connect our wire connectors on each side. Be helpful if we had some light, wouldn't it? There we go. Alright, turn that up in there and you see these tabs on either side. We're going to take that and put underneath the key switch. And there's slots under here that goes in. Just like that. Then on either side, there's a hole for our screws. That's 5 30-seconds Allen wrench. Tighten those up on both sides. Alright, so we're putting the tank on. Just set it on there. It should slide on up into place. So we got bolts on either side. You ain't gonna be able to see nothing over here in the dark.
What you doing, young lady?
Alright, so we do that, we go around to the other side, we got the same thing. Right here. Just get them started. We come back here. Get these started. Right here. One. T40 Torx bit. This one over here. Snug everything down. Five-eighth socket. Tighten down the ones up front. Go over there first. Be very careful not to mess up your paint. We ain't doing this to, we're trying to save some money, not cost us more money. But you gotta be careful. Well, it's better with the extension. So. Alright, come back here. We connect this vent tube. Alright, this tube needs to be ran down over here. We'll get to that in a minute. These two connect. Black wire goes here. They're color coded, so it's going to be pretty self-explanatory. And of course, the gray. Come back over here. We'll connect our fuel line. This is a quick connect. Pull up. Put it up in there. Pull it back down. It should be solid, just like that. Alright, get your windshield in place. Then you take your fairing, the front part of the fairing, you see how it's got these notches right here and right here. Line them up together, like so. Reach in here, well, connect your headlight up, so you can see that. Make sure it's latched. And again, make sure the notches are in place. Put this up here. And not everybody's got one of these, but they are pretty. Everybody likes accessories, don't they? Hold that in place. Move your fingers down. There you go. It's always good to have help too. Don't forget your help. That is T25. Long one goes on top. Yeah, it don't have to be real tight. This stuff's plastic, so, and it's not cheap. All right, turn the handle on. Keep going, keep going. Yeah, look at that. That's some real help right there, people. Oh yeah. Remember right here? We broke that little switch. Well, we didn't. I broke that little switch. Well, I got the replacement today. It cost me $11 for that. Okay. So, according to them, should just slides over and pops into place. Done deal. $11. Could be yours. Alright, so now we're going to put our auxiliary lights / turn signals on. It's easy. Just push that connector in, pop it in there. Bring it up here. Make sure you don't pinch your wires. And put your acorn nuts on. And of course, it's not the right one. That's a ½ inch. Same thing on the other side. Pay real close attention not to pinch them wires. Good and tight.
Okay.
So the only thing left here is to adjust your controls where you got good, where you can reach them good with your thumb, because these are all thumb controlled. Both sides, and then you're gonna have to adjust your levers for that same thing. And once you do that, you can attach your mirrors, which your mirrors may still be on. Probably are. Outside of that, I think it's a good look. Let's take a look, see what it looks like sitting on it, how it feels. Oh yeah, this is gonna be nice. Heck yeah. I can't wait to get out on the road now. Try it out. Alright, leave some comments down below, and we'll see if we can improve upon what we've done so far with this video. Maybe it helps somebody. Thank you.